Right.
Runway 6
Right.
Hotel, cross 33 at Hotel, Cessna 4885 Delta.
Oh, Tower, Cirrus 411 Hotel Zulu is holding short runway 6 ready. Departure. Flight runway heading clear for takeoff, 1 Hotel Zulu.
Wind 050 at 9er, gust 16. Tower.
Caps active. Flaps are up.
Just one good catch on that.
Sorry.
Over to departure.
Oh, okay. We'll contact departure 1 Hotel.
I was just saying good catch on the altitude bug.
Oh. Global departure, Cirrus 411 Hotel Zulu is with you.
Contact level altimeter 2995, come and maintain 4,000.
I maintain 4,000 on Hotel
I think the controls, Bill.
Zulu. You got the controls.
Good afternoon, Louisville approach, Baron 15, Lima Sierra is with you at 8,000.
Baron 15, Lima Sierra, Louisville approach, level altimeter 2995.
2995.
You got it?
Yep, I've got it.
Hey, you got the controls. I think she cleared us to 4.
Okay. Yes, you did.
One Hotel Zulu, contact approach on 134.15, they'll have on course shortly.
34 to 15.
Contact approach 134.15 Hotel Zulu. Who is it? I'm calling again.
That's Louisville.
Louisville, what?
Louisville approach.
Louisville approach?
Yep.
Okay. That was on departure. Louisville approach, Cirrus 401 Hotel Zulu is with you. 3,000.
Cirrus Zulu, Louisville approach, roger. Turn left heading at 010, I'll have on course for you here shortly.
Left to 0101 Hotel Zulu.
And was that citation 353 Hotel Alpha calling off Clark County? you coming into Sanford. Columbus, Indiana.
Proceed direct to Columbus, 1 Hotel Zulu.
When they give you present position direct.
Yeah, I know. Keep forgetting that. I did it Saturday if it's any consolation.
I don't know the method of their madness, but some days they have a approach divided up into 2 different sectors.
Huh?
And that's what you experience there. They can't be off.
6007 KBAK.
They're literally sitting right beside each other in the radar room. They've just, I think it's divided east and west. But when they choose to do that, when they don't, I really don't know. I know at night they do it. Yes.
That's the first time I've had it so far.
Yeah, but during the day it's pretty rare. I sometimes wonder if it's not just
verify you are on 18.
when they have
3 Hotel Alpha, Roger,
extra controllers on duty or something.
Heading of 340, you are released for departure, clearance void in 4 minutes.
Roger, 600 Bravo Lima, going to 4,000.
28 Bravo Lima, approved as requested. Traffic just off your left front, anything 3,000 feet north, eastbound, probably about
1 Hotel Zulu.
It just popped up on my screen too.
I had a message on mine.
I think you're underneath.
about and half a mile.
Still looking, 1 Hotel Zulu.
Okay, inside.
We have that traffic inside 1 Hotel Zulu.
1 Hotel Zulu,
We'll maintain visual separation 1 Hotel Zulu. It's going to be your job.
Yeah, we're not in the factory. If he looks up and sees us, though, he's going to have a little surprise. He's behind us. Couldn't quite make out the end number, but it was one of the, definitely one of the 172s from
I might have one from my tail cam.
Yeah, you probably will.
Approach Roger, identify, maintain 10,000. Office radar contact 3 miles north Cartagena Airport, level 2, share the 2,100. Up. 3 Hotel, 270. 270. 3 Hotel Alpha, maintain 15,000.
15,000.
It says best economy there. Here it says it's still leaning.
My experience too. See if I can figure out a button sequence that lane assist isn't on anymore.
3 Hotel Alpha, turn left, right, Apollo.
Direct Apollo 3 Alpha.
I just kind of accepted it that it was. It does seem like it should go to something else.
Yeah, I just kind of watch those and make sure they don't go red.
Yeah.
Approach 6 flight Bravo, and I do have 12 minutes, thank you.
All right, so as you know, we've got
618 Bravo Lima, Roger.
a couple of radio changes coming up, and before you know it, it's going to be time to shoot the approach.
Oh, the approach.
That would probably be premature, but at the least, yeah, at the least, I would.
Contact Indianapolis Center 128.3, good day.
I would get the approach pulled up and start briefing it, and just preparing for that.
Okay, so they're probably going to hand me off to an Indy approach at 134.85. Our ATIS there. 119.75.
Archer 560 Alpha to Clark County Airport. The
Alpha Star is 118.6.
that has files maintain 5,000 within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 134.15 and squawk is 4230. Hold for release. Departure 560 Alpha, be back in his correct. Class number 1 ready to go at Clark County.
Our first, I guess our fix is going to be Clips.
411 Hotel Zulu, contact Indianapolis Center on 124.7 today.
East Center 124.77, 1 Hotel Zulu. Good day. 124.77.
2477.
Indy approach, Cirrus 411 Hotel Zulu is with you at 3,900.
Sir, 411 Hotel Zulu, Center Roger, Blue Altimeter 2996.
2996, 1 Hotel Zulu.
So we need there 50.
So we need to cross it at 2300.
85, Mr. Ryder.
Capture our glide slope course. All the way down in, it's got a 3-degree glide slope. Precision altitude is going to be 856 feet. We go mist. Climb 1500. Then we climb to 2300 on a left turn, direct to Clips.
there's something that's worth pointing out there. So that's a pretty hard turn back around the cliffs.
Because of the MOA.
Restricted areas there. And those are all often active. More often than not they are. Just keep that in mind as you blast off the 2-3.
Sorry, say again?
Yeah, so just keep that restricted area in mind as you go mist. And, so we get up to 1500 straight ahead and then start that left turn. So we don't flip the corner of it. They will likely give us alternate missed approach instructions. But they may not.
So we're in a MOA now, so we followed the flight plan. And actually it's under 6,000 feet, where the MOA starts at 6,000 going up.
Yep.
So if we'd have filed higher, would they have, if it was active, they would have took us somewhere else, or?
Most likely they would have, given us a route that would have taken us either around it or over it or under it, The good thing is usually with either restricted areas, MOAs, all that kind of special use airspace, usually when you're flying on instruments, you're talking to the controlling agency. Like in the case of Fort Knox restricted area, you're talking to Standiford.
Right.
They're the authority, knows whether or not it's in use. And so they can clear you through it or not.
Citation 716, Mike Bravo is leveling 10,000, direct stress.
716 Mike Bravo, and 5, maintain follow.
Yeah, the next one will probably be 134.85.
Bravo.
That would be my guess.
GPS 2442, heavy traffic, Indy Center 134.7.
Yes, 2442, 134.7 today.
Home and airport information, Yankee. 060 at 12, gust 17. Facility 10, sky clear. Temperature 242.
Indy EPS 5520, heavy 7 for 10,000.
Houston, track 20, return confirmation, level 230.
Climb maintain 230, 5520, over, turn director up.
So should I load my approach?
There's no harm in loading it. At this point, we don't want to, just be sure not to activate it.
Right.
We're still clear direct Columbus. But you can load it in anticipation of us asking for it. If they didn't give it to us for some reason, we would just have to go back and load something else.
716 Mike Bravo, direct Cincinnati.
Direct Cincinnati,
Shoot, I just loaded it.
Thank you.
It's loaded but not activated.
Okay, yeah.
You're still direct Columbus,
Right.
so that's fine. What it does do is when you go out to back to your map, you'll notice it will have loaded the procedure onto the map, so you can start to kind of visualize what it is you're going to be doing.
Maintain flight level 20.
And in the course of getting set up for that,
We have weather.
yeah. Of course, of getting set up for that, it's also going to bring in your localizer frequency into your standby.
We're on GPS 1.
And so it's put it in both standbys. And so when it comes time to fly the approach, we'll go to CDI, VLOC, Make sure that that follows.
Make the direct boiler.
Direct boiler, 5520 heavy.
The wind keeps pushing me.
Yes, 2560 heavy, 10,000.
Get 2560, Indy Center, roger, high in a minute.
Center Logistics, Medevac Logistics 304 is 17,000. We have to maintain 200 or below for operation necessity.
UPS 2560, Indy Center. I'm going to maintain flight level 230.
I'll maintain flight level 230, UPS 2560 heavy.
This is just Logistics 304, Indy Center, Lexington altimeter 3000, and I missed the last part of your transmission.
3000, and we're going to have to maintain at or below 200 knots for operational necessity.
Distribution 04, roger. Cedar discretion, thank you. November 411 Hotel Zulu, contact Indianapolis approach 134.85.
Indy approach 134.85, good next Hotel Zulu. Good afternoon, Indy approach, Cirrus 411 Hotel Zulu, with you 3,900.
4111 Hotel Zulu, Indy approach, index number 3002, expect the visual approach, runway 23.
Visual approach, runway 231 Hotel Zulu. 3002.
So when you request the ILS for 23.
5,000.
He's trying to do you a favor, he doesn't know we're training.
Right,
He didn't read the remarks.
Alpha X-ray Victor, via heading 050, and maintain 5,000 per hour, expect 13,000 is the final altitude.
Center 411 Hotel Zulu.
This 472 Charlie Delta, stay on course. Pushing 280 Charlie Charlie in departure, ready to contact. Turn left direct meters. Eagle 1 traffic, 1 o'clock, 3 miles northeastbound, coming to 4,000 for 5,000. Pushing 65 Charlie Charlie traffic, 10 o'clock, 2 miles southbound. Archer, level 6,000. Race 745, heavy contact, Chicago Center 135.7.
Got a little busy.
I'll talk for you.
Okay.
Indy approach Cirrus 411 Hotel Zulu. Request vectors for the ILS 23 for training.
Cirrus 411 Hotel Zulu, turn right, heading 030, vectors to ILS, runway 23 approach.
Right, 030, 1 Hotel Zulu. Alright, so now you're vectored toward the approach. You can activate your approach. And the GPS, you can also go ahead and switch your CDI to VLOC and make sure your nav source follows.
Okay.
030 and 4,000. Once you get that done, I'm going to have you look up. I just want to show you around a little bit.
Activate vectors to final, right? Okay.
So we need to put the localizer freak in the active. 110. There's our localizer freak, 110.7. Activate that. Let's activate it in both just for good habit. Alright, VLOC 1, ILS 110.7, and your inbound course 228 matches your inbound course here. Okay. Alright, so we're
22 heavy, showing this light tomorrow precipitation to the southeast of your position. If you get the southeastbound turn, let me know.
Alright, so go ahead and look up for just a minute. I just want to show you around so you know what you're seeing on the screen. So the airport just for orientation's sake, is, I just had it, it's right off.
22 heavy traffic,
Yeah, okay. So we're in the clear. We're going to fly out past the airport to join the localizer out here and come back in. But you can see the precip around us.
65, Charlie, proceed direct Alpha X-ray Victor.
And you'll see when you're under it like this, you know, you can see the rain bands out there, and you can see where the heavier stuff is.
Yeah.
And that would be, you know, indicative of that right there. But that's about all you can see when you're underneath it. You don't get a lot, so it's good to have this type of technology. All right, back under the hood. Your controls. I have the controls.
22 heavy, climb, maintain 13,000.
And my decision matter said it was 856. Okay.
1 Hotel Zulu, flight 040.
Oh, heading 040, 1 Hotel Zulu.
You have the controls.
I controls.
This 472 Charlie Delta, go ahead. 472 Charlie Delta, there's 3 other questions. There's 2 Charlie Delta, deviation to the right is approved. 132 departure, ready to contact Channel 8100. I'm going to give up at eastbound around the weather. Cirrus at 22 heavy, you just have to right turn 180. Charlie, contact Chicago Center 120.97.
So will they just send me down?
Yeah, absolutely. So the next thing that's going to happen, he's going to, once he gets you out here outside of Cliffs,
Yeah.
he's going to start working you in towards the localizer, and he'll give you your descent. Probably what it's going to sound like is something like cross. Going to maintain 2,300 or cross Cliffs at 2,300. Something similar to what I've been giving you when I simulated ATC.
Right.
So the things to remember to read back is your altitude restriction, your heading to fly, and then the fact that you're cleared for the ILS 2-3. Okay. And then towers are next freak, so you could get that keyed up there too.
118.6 was it?
18.6.
From the say calls in again?
Yeah, the glide slope will kick in when it receives it, right?
Uniform Cirrus,
That's correct.
211. Cirrus 22 heavy, flight 120, contact Indy Center 140, contact Indy Center 119.55, 1955. November 710, Uniform Shadow, ready to contact 3 miles northeast of clear to East Airport via direct line. Back around for the localizer. Roger, you want to cancel IFR now? Uniform Shadow, Super approach to East Creek Airport before cancellation by IFR in the air on the ground is published. Southwest 2132.
When we think about descent planning and your checklist and everything, Cliffs is going to be our final approach point, right? And it's final approach fix. So that's the point at which we're going to, at a minimum, 2 miles prior to that, we want to be slowed.
First notch in.
First notch in.
Dumps check down.
Dumps check.
1 Hotel Zulu, turn left, ending 320.
Left 320, 1 Hotel Zulu.
Just 1 Hotel Zulu, maintain 3,000.
Then maintain 3,000, 1 Hotel Zulu.
3,000 and 320. 320. 320. What are you doing?
Nope. RNM, runway 21 approach. Before, but when I get the more inside, so leaving about 2,200. Turn right, you 140, contact.
I'm going to take the controls for a second. You take your hood off.
Your controls.
I've got the controls. Alright, you have the controls.
My controls.
Just 1 Hotel Zulu, 250.
250, 1 Hotel.
1 Hotel Zulu, 8 miles from set. Maintain about 3,000 to Southbound. Localize discussion on final. Clear for the on-air runway 23 approach.
Maintain above 3,000. Clear for RNF approach, 1 Hotel Zulu.
Shut off for cancellation, receive coffee, property approved.
250 is the heading. 250, I gotta keep the turn coming.
250. Left turn, 210.
What he said.
Okay, we're around the 210 if we need it, 1 Hotel Zulu. So there's your localizer. So he's allowing you to fly back to it, 210 and 3,000 feet. Stop your descent at 3,000. Alright, there's your localizer. It's coming back in, so you can bring it back around to 228. Got a little bit of a wind from the left. It's going to have a tendency to push you to the right of your course. Or VFR again. Go ahead and put those back on. I've got the controls. Your controls. My controls.
Eagle 1, climb and maintain 8,000.
I have controls.
Alright, you have the controls. So we've got localizer, we've got our glide slope is there. It's registered, but it's not active yet. So we're just going to stay here at 3,000. We don't expect it to come in and true up for a bit yet, because we're still 5 miles from cliffs. So come right just a hair to try to true up with your course. You can see your glide slope starting to tick down.
162 Alpha 40320, say destination again, please.
Alright, so we're 3.5 miles outside of cliffs. We're coming up on that point where we want to be slowed, configured, and all that good stuff. Jumps check. Here comes your glide slope. When that glide slope centers up, that's when you start your descent.
Departures.
And just to keep that needle centered. A little bit right of course, and correct left for that. There's 2.5 miles outside of cliffs.
That's the 6 Alpha rating 33.
So now we're a little above glide slope, so we need to descend a little faster. This all happens pretty quick now, so when you start to see it deviate, you got to correct pretty quick.
Right.
It's 1 Hotel Zulu. Register terminal contact Columbus Tower 118.6.
Contact Tower 118.6, 1 Hotel Zulu.
Alright, keep her coming down.
Columbus Tower, Cirrus 1 Hotel Zulu is on ILS 23 approach.
Cirrus 411 Hotel Zulu, sir. I was advised you were on the GPS to runway 23, sir. Is that correct?
Negative, sir. 1 Hotel Zulu is on the ILS 23.
1 Hotel Zulu, I have opposite direction traffic, a Mooney landing on runway 5. Say your distance to the marker.
Half mile to cliff, sir. 1 Hotel Zulu.
1 Hotel Zulu, roger. 105012, the altimeter is 3001. And you were advised that runway 5 was active?
That's a negative, sir.
Roger. Continue runway 23. Expect landing clearance short final.
Okay, we'll continue 23, 1 Hotel Zulu. And just for your information, we're on a training flight, so we were looking to fly multiple approaches.
Roger, sir. Understood. Multiple approaches. They told me that you were a full stop, sir. I'll get a missed approach instruction for you. That Mooney traffic's over landing threshold for runway 5. Continue. And say your distance.
3-mile final, we have the Mooney in sight, 1 Hotel Zulu. Okay, keep her coming down. You gotta go back and get your course now. Yeah, we're close in, so it's not a huge correction, but we've got to get that needle coming back in. There you go. And we're way fast, Bill, way fast. Don't have any flaps in. Don't put them in yet, though, we're fast.
Right. Make the right turn there, Bravo, taxi to the ramp via Alpha.
Bravo, to the ramp now, 1 Yankee November, right?
From 1 Hotel Zulu, what approach would you like next, sir?
We'd like to repeat the ILS 23.
Roger, sir. On missed approach,
500.
090, sir. Runway 23 cleared for the option 105012, 3001.
Here for the option 23 and on the go 090, 1 Hotel Zulu.
Number 1 Yankee November, taxi to the ramp.
All right, go ahead and look up. So you have the option. You can touch and go, or you can just go miss. It's up to you. I'd say let's go miss.
Go missed.
All right.
And number 1 Hotel Zulu, sir. Turn left to hang 090. Take departure 134.85.
Left 090, departure 134.85, 1 Hotel Zulu. Left 030.
You have an altitude for 1 Hotel Zulu, sir?
3,000, sir.
3,000, thanks. 1 Hotel Zulu. 090 and 3,000.
090.
What happened there is the approach controller was just too busy. He didn't have time to figure out what's going on with us. Sorry. Worked out fine. All right, I got the controls. Put your controls. Pop those back on. All right, we got some work to do, but all in all, we got to a point where we could land out of it if we had to, so that's a good thing. And contact departure, there you go.
166 to the officer, left hand 280.
All right, here comes your heading. You've got the controls, but
166 to the officer, left turn 270, to left hand 270.
Is this Indy departure?
this is
Indy?
Yeah, Indy approach, Indy departure, yeah. Yep.
Indy approach, there's 411 Hotel Zulu is climbing for 2,300 just off of Columbus.
There's 411 Hotel Zulu in approach ident and verify lane for the ILS 23 now, full stop.
Say again, 1 Hotel Zulu.
I got it.
There's 411 Hotel Zulu, ready to contact 1 mile south of Columbus Airport. Verify looking for the ILS runway 23, full stop.
Yes, we want to do an ILS 23, 1 Hotel Zulu.
There's 1 Hotel Zulu, roger. Turn left heading 070 and verify this will be a full stop into Columbus.
Thanks, sir. I'll talk.
Go ahead.
Negative, sir. We'll be looking for missed approach back to an ILS for 23 for 1 Hotel Zulu.
There's 1 Hotel Zulu, roger, you expect that.
Thanks.
Office 493, departure, ready to contact, turn right straight from Mario, expect 105 miles.
He's throwing a lot at you, and I know you're dealing with a lot. Don't feel bad about it. It's a whole new part of the language you got to learn.
212, flight maintain 13,000.
I can take little chunks of information at a time, not a gig.
All right, so what he's done, he's vectoring us back out outside of cliffs.
Right.
And so everything's set up for that already, for that approach, but it's still, the GPS has gone into spin mode. It thinks we went on a missed approach, and it's basically looking for us to tell it, all right, I'm ready to fly the miss now, which we're not doing.
3, climb and maintain 13,000.
So you could just go back to procedure and vector and activate vector to final again. There you go.
That's The 62 Alpha, telemetry 2.
And our localizers are still up. We still got that selected on the nav source. So we're all good there. We're just going to fly as vectors 070 and 3000.
Georgia Center 312, contact Chicago Center 120.907. Southwest 492.
All right, so the main things we're going to improve upon this go around, we've simply got to get the airplane slowed down. It makes everything you're doing harder. So everything else I'm about to say hinders on the fact that we've got to slow down. 150 knots on final would be fast when I was flying a citation. This is a fast airplane, but it's no citation. All right,
right.
So we've got to get slowed. I want to see you like 95 knots, 100 knots, okay, to that final approach fix. Beyond that, that's a fine speed. So we're shaving about 40 or 50 knots off of it, and everything else is going to start working better for you at that point because your course deviations are going to happen slower. Your altitude, your rate of descent is going to be lower. All that's going to be better for you if you slow down. I won't let you get too slow, I promise. And I really think once we do that, things like I'm sure you felt like we were S-turning on the course. That's going to happen a lot less when you have more time to work through it. It's hard to fly an approach that fast, even for somebody that's been doing it a long time.
Did he just turn me to 050?
No, I think that was for somebody else.
Okay.
Station 806 departure, high day, climate day 1000.
I would fly to 070 though. The other thing to remember about ILS is you're flying into a funnel, right? So both your course and your altitude are getting, the indications are getting more sensitive as you get closer. And so, and the one thing I want to mention, in real world flying, if we get full needle deflection, we've got to go miss. At that point, we don't know if we're just a little bit off or we're a lot off. And this PFD kind of triggers that with that yellow bar. When it turns yellow, that's when you know you're off course to the point that you're not getting indications. And the glide slope does the same thing.
62 Alpha, climate day VFR 4,500.
You have any questions for me?
Not at the moment.
62 Roger, you expect direction Neva in 6 miles.
The other thing I want you to do this go around is
reset transport 3430.
Reference your decision height for me and make some verbal enunciation of that. Like if you ever watch the guys flying the airliners and stuff, it's calling out. It's like 500, 200,
Okay.
100. Kind of do something like that, a system for yourself. And so that communicates to me and to your examiner and to yourself that you're aware of how low you can go and how close you are getting to that. And that way, also that allows you to call.
Lieutenant 320.
Lieutenant 320, 1 Hotel Zulu.
733, heavy contact Chicago Center 135.75.
Ultimately, where we want to get to is that you're calling out the decision height, and you're, so keep coming around the 320, as opposed to 032. There you go. Making sure that you're recognizing its decision height, and you're looking up at that point, as opposed to me.
Right. 33 heavy 135.75. 3719 heavy departure radar contact climb 3000 to right track Mario.
Alright, so your next call, so we're 8 miles from Cliffs, your next call is going to be something like 5 miles from Cliffs, maintain 3000 until established. clear the ILS 23 approach into Columbus.
Maintain 3,000 until established on ILS approach.
Yeah, until established on the localizer or established on final. Like that.
You going to discard? Mooney 3, Whiskey Juliet, you're 10 miles from FACSAG, crossing FACSAG at or about 3,000, clear for the RNF, only 2-1 approaching Eagle Creek. That's a 6 Alpha turn in 230, you expect direct on course in about 15 miles.
You'll enjoy the video footage of this. We're solid DMC.
Turn left in 250, maintain 3,000 till south local office. Clear ILS, runway 23 approach to Columbus.
You got it?
I didn't hear what you said.
Okay. Left heading 250, 3,000 till established, clear the ILS 23, 1 Hotel Zulu.
Clear for the ILS, runway 23 approach.
I think I stepped on you. Left 250, 3,000 till established, clear the ILS 23, 1 Hotel Zulu.
Just 1 Hotel Zulu going through, and now turn left in 200 to get established.
200, 1 Hotel Zulu.
Press 719 heavy contact, Indy Center 124.52, 2452.
Alright, so we need to be at 3,000 feet.
Yep, get in here.
And you see he gave us that turn late. I was on him. But we're coming back around to it, so just keep your turn coming in. 200, you'll see the localizer come back in on the other side. And so we're 5 miles from Cliffs. So we've got about 3 miles until we need to be slowed. Figured we're going to have to check complete approach flaps.
Turn right direct Mario.
Localizer's coming back alive. Go ahead and start your turn back around.
Just 1 Hotel Zulu, registered summary contact line with someone 8.6.
We'll call the tower, just tell them. Yeah.
We'll call tower 118.6, 1 Hotel Zulu.
Okay, keep your turn coming.
I'm not on the bug anymore, that's my mistake here.
I think you switched over the ILS frequency off, that's why that went away. Alright. Stop your turn. Right slope's coming, is alive and about to center up, so get slowed to 100 knots now. Get your approach flaps in. This is the point where we start our descent. Got our
Columbus Tower, Cirrus 411 Hotel Zulu is on ILS 23 approach.
Number 411 Hotel Zulu, Columbus Tower, roger. Wind is 06012, altimeter 3001. Runway 23, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 231 Hotel Zulu.
Alright, we're at a pretty big angle to that. The wind is pretty high though, so you're fighting a pretty strong wind. So it may be okay for now to be there, but just know as you get lower, you will be out of that wind, and you won't need to hold that much of a correction angle. You got about 37 knots off your left, so I think what you're doing is working out pretty good, actually. All right. About 40 knots off the left quartering tail in there, so I think a little more correction to the left will true up that localizer. And as far as we get close in here, it's very sensitive. Take that wind to start to calm down, needing a little less correction like you've got. That's looking good. So we're just a touch high in the glide slope. Just fine, correct that with power. Yeah, we're at about 108 knots, so that now we're still maybe 10 knots fast. You can bleed some of that out in the transition. We want to be thinking about our decision height.
856.
Okay.
That's 700 more feet to go.
Right. Don't want to get high at this point. Bring your power out. Small corrections now. Go ahead and come back to 228 on the heading. A 1 mile final. I'm going to keep you under here.
500.
Looking good. Just make sure to follow your course over there to the right. That wind's completely died out on you now. Pretty much fly the runway heading. Okay, we're a little low on the glide slope. Power to go get it. Correct back to the right. Let's go full flaps. All right, power out. A little about 100 feet above decision height. Still descending. Go ahead and look up.
Okay.
All right, that's what decision height looks like on an ILS. Go ahead and go mist. Put that full flaps in. Work.
I need to tell him I'm going mist, or?
He's looking at you. That's the only, you know. Usually they'll call and say something, but.
Turn left heading 090, climb maintain 3000, contact departure.
Left heading 090, climb maintain 3000, contact departure, 1 Hotel Zulu.
This is 97, contact Indy approach 121.1, 21-1. Delta 39, 618, departure ready, contact contact 3000.
Indy departure, Cirrus 411, Hotel Zulu is climbing through 2000.
This 411, Hotel Zulu, Indy departure, roger. Station 620, contact Indy Center 124.77, 2477. Delta 39, 621, turn left, direct meters.
All right, that went really well. You feel big improvement?
Better than the first one, yes.
Yeah. Slowing down takes a lot of the pressure off.
Yeah, and it helps try to keep it close to the glide slope.
Yep.
If I can find that perfect pitch and speed to get that glide slope in, and I can focus more on my approach. Of course, the wind's not helping me a lot today.
Yeah, the wind is pretty strong up there. That is pretty common, though. The thing with instrument flying is typically you're doing it because the weather's not.
Because the weather, right?
So, yeah, pretty typical. All right, so our plan was to do this one with the autopilot, just so you can get the experience doing that too on an ILS. Is that still good with you, or
yes.
do you want to? Okay. So basically,
Tango.
Right now we're on a heading and an altitude, so you could go ahead and set the heading mode on the autopilot.
Just 401 Hotel Zulu, ident assembling for the ILS 4 stop into Columbus.
That's affirmative one.
That's affirmative 1 Hotel Zulu.
So you could set heading mode.
Just 411 Hotel Zulu, ready contact 3 miles southeast of Columbus Airport. Verify level 3000.
That's affirmative, 1 Hotel Zulu.
1 Hotel Zulu, turn left heading 050, back to ILS, only 23 approaches Columbus.
Left heading 050 for ILS 23 approaching Columbus, 1 Hotel Zulu.
Alright, so as far as our navigation goes, we've still got localizer up in the active on VLOCs. Both VLOC soft keys are selected and we're going to have VLOC here. That's all good. Our GPS is still thinking we're in the missed approach phase, and so it's suspended on the approach. And just to show you what that looks like in the flight plan, it's suspended on that leg between cliffs and runway 23.
Okay.
So the missed approach is to fly back to cliffs. So if I unsuspend it, you see it went beyond that, and it's going to give me a route back to cliffs, which is what the missed approach is. That's not really what we want to do. We just want to activate again, so you can go procedure, activate vector to final. And this is by way of reminder, for an ILS, all this GPS stuff, this is all for situational awareness. It's not for navigation. The only thing that's for navigation, this and your glide slope. Okay, this is just kind of giving you a little heads up on where you're at.
Okay.
But we were flying these long before we had this.
Right.
All right, so from an autopilot standpoint, he's going to give us probably 1 and maybe 2 turns to vector us to final. And after that, we're going to be able to go into, have it go into the approach mode. And in approach mode, it's going to capture, on an ILS, a precision approach like this, it's going to capture the localizer, the course needle, and the glide slope. Okay? But
I got to worry about my speed.
At that point, you become a systems manager, making sure that it does what you want it to do. And then, maintaining your power and your speed, making sure your dump check's completed. Okay. And then from there, making sure that you're prepared for the handoff from the autopilot to you, so that you can do the landing, and so that you have some game plan in your mind about when you want to do that. A lot of times in the real world, that's a decision that's made when you break out, right? So if you've got a 500-foot ceiling and your decision height on the approach is 200 feet AGL, you've got to have 300-foot buffer zone in there, right? And so you can plan to disconnect the autopilot at that point, or you can do it earlier and later. But that's really, there's no hard and fast rule on that. Just understand when you're going from autopilot to hand flying at the same time you're going IMC to BMC. That's a lot going on at the same time. Right. You want to be well ahead of the airplane, thinking about making sure you're prepared.
Turn left heading 320.
Left heading 320, 1 Hotel Zulu.
1035 contact, Indy Center 132.
What is that controller change?
Turn right, 090. Turn right heading 230.
Alright, so we've got the starting of our localizer needle as well as our glide slope needle, and we're getting ready to be turned on the final. So we can go ahead and you can hit approach on the GPS. So it's going to stay. It's going to stay in.
Heading 260, maintain 3000 Savage Quad, clear out from 23 approach Columbus.
Yes, sir.
Say again for 1 Hotel Zulu.
This is return left heading 260 going flight, please.
Left heading 260 showing 1 Hotel Zulu.
3740, turn right 180.
So you say good approach?
3740 heavy, climb maintain 1 to 3000.
You're going to see it's gone into nav and approach mode, so as we continue that turn, it should capture the localizer and track it inbound. And it's going to stay in this altitude mode at 3000 until... see this glide slope just showed up?
Okay.
Yes, you'll see it up here too.
Right.
Here's 110 to the clear ILS.
Clear ILS, P3 approach. Send me the tower, ready.
So we're 5 miles from cliff. Got a little bit of time. It doesn't hurt to start slowing up a little bit early.
3709 heavy, climb maintain 1.
The other thing you want to think about with the autopilot, different autopilots are more or less finicky about this, but flat changes can give it, when it's doing altitude tracking,
right,
or glide slope tracking, it can be kind of finicky. If it does that, you just got to be prepared to cut it off and fly.
Contact Columbus Tower 18.6.
Contact Columbus 118.6, Hotel Zulu. Tower Cirrus 411, Hotel Zulu is with you on ILS approach 23. Full stop. Full stop.
Land roll 05.
Can we get a wind check for 1 Hotel Zulu?
Wind is 05.
We'll circle for 5, 1 Hotel Zulu.
For 1 Hotel Zulu, roger. Circle south for runway 5, clear to land.
Circle south, runway 5, clear to land, 1 Hotel Zulu.
1 Hotel Zulu, report commencing the circle.
Roger. All right, so your minimums are going to be 1140 on the circling.
Okay.
All right, so what you see now is we've got approach mode active and we've got glide slope captured. All right, so the airplane's now flying the approach. You've got to manage the power. So here's the trick. If we're 130 knots and we're in a descent, to get us down to an approach speed, and that's because all that happened while we were we got past our 2 miles here. So we're in a descent from here all the way down, and you've got to still manage to get this airplane slowed down. And so that's why I say the sooner you can do it, the better. The faster the airplane, you've kind of got to plan ahead for it. So
first flaps in anyway.
I'm going to turn your marker beacons on too. That's something we ought to get in the habit of doing on ILS. Is just reach down and turn this on. And that's your auditory indication that you're passing cliffs, the outer marker, locator outer marker. Alright, dump check complete.
Gear down, mixture's rich, power boost on, or fuel booster on. Belts, straps, doors, flaps.
Okay, and just as a reminder, we're circling, we're going to circle south, so that means we're going to go that way. Alright,
I'm going to go left, okay.
and you're going to fly basically like a right pattern, so line up to land on runway 5. And we're going to do that at a minimum 1140. Why don't we say 1200?
Okay.
And so that'll be the point where I'll have you disconnect the autopilot and fly. And you'll look up at that point too. You don't have to look up yet. Just be prepared for that. All right, go ahead, look up.
500.
All right, autopilot disconnect. All right, we'll stay here at 1200, circle south. Go ahead and let the tower know we're circling.
Columbus Tower, Cirrus 401, Hotel Zulu circling.
All right, so we just stay at 1200. You're going to keep the airport in sight.
Right.
and you're just going to kind of make your way around. Yeah, gentle. Never responded to us. Columbus Tower, Cirrus 1 Hotel Zulu. Just want to confirm we're circling. Clear land, runway 5, 1 Hotel Zulu. Thanks. All right, and just kind of work your way. We don't want to get too far away from it. Block your view.
Yeah, I don't get to look out much.
Good. Around there. We're aligned with the runway 05011. So it's going to be pushing you away. Good job maintaining altitude. Just a normal landing now.
That wasn't too good. That wind coming in, it kept floating me. According to Randy.
1 Hotel Zulu, taxi to the ramp.
Taxi to the ramp, 1 Hotel Zulu.
Like a right on Bravo and a right on Alpha. Straight ahead. Still having fun?
Yeah. Normally don't fly when it's this windy, but it's a good experience. I mean, this is 11 knots, not bad. I mean, one time I went out solo flying, right after I soloed, took off from Bowman, it was 3 knots, but the winds up high were pretty strong. And I was doing my ground reference maneuvers, turns around the point, all that stuff, and when I knew it, I was ready to go to Clark County and do some touch and goes, where do I need to go for the pumps?
Well,
You don't have to get
I'm thinking they have a truck here. I'm thinking that's how, that may be the only way to get fuel.
fuel. Okay.
I would assume
there.
either park, you know, here or up there, either one.
Where I parked Saturday morning. 3 Blackhawks over there. Anyway.
Oh, there is a pump down there. It just occurred to me, I'm assuming they're still open at 30, but there is. I just noticed there is a set of pumps down there. If that's where the cheap gas is. Maybe that makes more sense. This has the one price in self-serve fuel, 24 hours. This says no service for. I don't know that that's accurate, but the pumps are down there, so that'll definitely work.
Okay. The pickoff did my maneuvers when I went to look for Clark County. Has 25 miles north. Went to Clark County. Wind was blowing 9. Okay, it was a good experience. At Bowman, it was 12 gusts and 22.
Wow.
I said, Lord, get me on the ground softly. Or I said, Lord, get me on the ground. And then I thought I better say softly. And I keyed the mic and said softly for some reason.
That's funny.
So, do I need to let him know I'm taxiing to the pumps? Or?
No, this is a non-movement area, but she's walking out here with chocks.